Hello there. To the judiciary and Keir Starmer, you shame our nation. Release Lucy Connolly now. On the 29th of July last year, just hours after a horrifying triple child killing in Southport, Lucy Connolly, a grieving mother herself who lost her own toddler to NHS failure, logged onto X and let out her rage. She had just heard that 3 little girls had been murdered by a man the public still knows shockingly little about. Her emotional floodgates opened. What emerged from that anger was raw, ugly, born of shock. And yes, it was a tweet that the vast majority of us would never ever post. But if you've ever lost a child yourself, you'll understand. And Lucy had. Her son, Harry, died at just 19 months old. The NHS had failed him, and it shattered Lucy's trust in the system permanently. But here's the thing. Lucy deleted that tweet just 4 hours later. But for that tweet, they took her. They took a woman with no previous convictions, a childminder trusted with children from all backgrounds, and buried her in a jail cell for 31 months. For a tweet. No actual violence, no weapons, no criminal history. While others walked free for far worse crimes, like those against children, including repeat offenders, but Lucy Connolly is still in prison. And now we know that according to the police inspectorate, there was no far-right connection to these events. None. But her appeal against that more than draconian sentence fell on stony judicial ground. It was rejected. Lucy is being treated as if she is an ongoing threat to society, as if she ever really was a threat. With her heartbroken husband, former Tory councillor Ray Connolly, saying, "I think the system wanted to make an example of Lucy so other people would be scared to say things about immigration. That is not the British way," he said. No wonder former Reform UK MP, now independent, Rupert Lowe, asked this question during PMQs today.
Rupert Lowe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Does the Prime Minister agree that imprisoning Lucy Connolly, a young mother with a 12-year-old daughter, for one foolish social media post, soon deleted, is clearly not an efficient or fair use of prison?
Mr. Speaker, sentencing is a matter for our courts, and I celebrate the fact that we have independent courts in this country. I am strongly in favour of free speech. We've had free speech in this country for a very long time, and we protect it fiercely. But I'm equally against incitement to violence against other people. And I will always support the action taken by our police and courts to keep our streets and people safe.
But the state does not care why she posted that tweet, even if it needlessly fills up prison space. The state cares only that it provided them with a headline and made her the scapegoat for an entire summer of disorder. And the courts were happy to oblige. For Keir Starmer to talk now about the independence of the judiciary in that video clip I just played is laughable. And as for free speech... And we will judge Starmer by these words when suspended Labour councillor Ricky Jones is up before the beak for encouraging violent disorder. Both the PM Keir Starmer and the Home Secretary Yvette Cooper made it extremely clear and very public that they expected the world to fall in on those so-called far-right rioters, and the court stepped up to the plate accordingly, while still letting perpetrators of far worse crimes off the hook, and worse, releasing some early to free up prison space for the hurty word spouters. We've all seen that two-tier system in action. All while Lucy can't even get release on temporary licence to see her 12-year-old daughter. Is she such a danger to society that she can't even be allowed that? Her crime? Words. Deleted words. Her family is shattered. Lucy Connolly became the face of Keir Starmer's crusade against the so-called far-right thuggery. Not because she fit the far-right thug profile, she didn't, but because punishing her sent a warning to others. The judges didn't want mercy, they wanted a message. They even tried to paint her as dangerous in court, not based on actions, but on opinions. Even Boris Johnson called it what it is, a propaganda gift for authoritarian regimes, because while the UK now makes over 10,000 online speech arrests per year, more than Russia, we're told we still live in a free country. And let's be honest, if Lucy Connolly had been of a different demographic or political persuasion, would she be in prison right now? And while Lucy's inside, the Justice Secretary is planning to release 40,000 actual offenders early. But Lucy, the childminder who cared for kids of every background, is too dangerous to be let out on a tag. Who is buying that? Even within the legal community, people are starting to whisper. Magistrates, barristers, senior court observers, many are quietly disgusted. It's the most appalling and unfair case, one told Telegraph columnist Alison Pearson. I'd be looking for any excuse to avoid giving someone like Lucy a custodial. Another said bluntly, there is no doubt in my mind that Lucy Connolly was made a scapegoat. And the deeper you dig, the clearer it becomes. This wasn't about justice. This was about ideology, about making an example, about Starmer's government being able to say, see, we're tough on extremism. Even if it means throwing a grieving mother under the bus. So here's the bottom line. Lucy Connolly should not be in prison. Not for a tweet. Not for a mistake she instantly regretted and publicly disavowed. Not while others who genuinely harm people walk free. This is a moment for the country to decide, are we ruled by law or ruled by narrative? Because if Lucy Connolly doesn't walk free soon, we're going to have to admit it. Justice in Britain is no longer blind. It's been politicised. And it's coming for the rest of us next. We will all be Lucy Connolly. Finally, please like, subscribe and comment below. And a big shout out to our Patreon supporters. And thank you for watching.